So welcome back to the MOTi My House remake. In the last video we did the builds and the verses, and today we're going to take a look at the drops, but this is what we did in the last one.
House is the religion, and the DJ is my deacon, but the music is my God. Let me know you hear me speak, me speak, me speak.
Alright, so let's kick off this production with the main part, which is the organ sound and the MIDI for that. So here's the first bit of the MIDI for the organ sound. And so notice how all the chords are really carefully cut as well in the MIDI. So you get more of like a staccato sound where you hear the cut at the end, and this gives it that real bounce in the song. And so the preset I'm using to do this first bit of sound is E-piano, and this is essentially just an electric piano emulation. And there's not really any other way to get that classic UK house organ sound than using an M1 plugin, so that's what I've done here. But there are plenty of options in the packs as well if you want to use different one-shots and stuff. And so this is how it sounds alongside the first preset. And then moving on to the bass, we've got the FM bass preset, which is such a sick preset for just adding some nice harmonics to your sounds. This is from Music Vol.1, and it sounds like this. So alongside the organ, we have this. And then we have this sub sound called Perfect Sub, which does exactly what it says, and it's just a super sick, tight, low-end bass. And then the final layer for this bass is this kick preset, which is just adding a bit more transient to the whole sound. And without it, it sounds quite weak, but this is how it sounds with it. Without it. So on our bass / organ, this is the processing we've got. We've got some CLA, which is doing some moderate compression between 3 and 5. And then we've got some classic chain Nicky Romero kickstart. And then I've placed the sub in its own channel so it can go mono and I can kind of process it individually. So that's it for the bass. We're now going to move on to some drums. And where better to start than with a kick. So this is a kick from Fish in the Lake Volume 2. This is such a good pack if you want to get kicks that for this kind of like tech house, deep house kind of vibey stuff. It's just a really tight, punchy character kick. So I wanted to kind of make my own kick by adding a Music Vol.4 kick on top of there and just taking the transient from it, just to give a bit more tick and click to the whole sound. And so now I've reintroduced all the claps and the fill parts, which are from the builds. So if you want to check out the last part for this production, you can see how we did all these fill sections. But this is how it sounds. So we're introducing an offbeat percussion here, which is a tom, which you can grab from Music Vol.2, and this just adds a really nice little groovy offbeat element. And then of course on the first beats we're introducing some instant impact and energy with a drop down lifter, which is being chopped after the first beat, so it's just straight up. And we've got a sweep here as well to just kind of tie in this whole part. So quite a cool effect in this song is the use of hi-hats and variations of them. So basically we've got these closed hi-hats coming in on the first half of the drop. So it gets introduced as like a hi-hat kind of ticking over the groove a bit. And then later on you've got another hi-hat which comes in here. And so that other hi-hat is an open hi-hat, which gives you that full-on energy where it doesn't sound the same. It kind of keeps the groove even more interesting and more exciting here on this second half. And then if that wasn't enough energy, we've also got some snares coming in, which are doing offbeat hits. So the final part of the drop production is this sweep, which I've taken from the build, and this adds like an eerie background kind of uplift in the background. So you can hear the whole drop swelling towards the end, and the energy just gets built up a lot more from this one uplifter sample. So that's the production in its entirety, the verse, build and drops. So I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I actually really enjoyed making this style of music. This is kind of more towards the style I normally make. And let us know what you want to see next as well, because I'll be running through all of your requests in the next couple of weeks. Subscribe as well so you don't miss any more remakes we make on this channel, and let's go and take a listen.
House is the religion, and the DJ is my deacon.